Hi, sir. May I help
Hi.
you?
Yeah, got some snack food?
Yes, we do. Down aisle. Just check it over.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yes. This beer? Anything else beside?
No, I'd like some viewer mail.
Oh, sure. Yes. Here. Here. This one is 69 cents.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'd like,
so my.
yeah, I'd like a lavalier microphone too.
Sure.
Here, I'll just take that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's that's $1.79.
Thank you. Okay.
Anything else? That's $5.59. Here, you give me $5 for it. What's the hip with?
Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Joe's Basement. I'm Joe. And this is my basement. So, this week in Joe's Basement, we get a rare insight into an interpersonal conflict from all sides of the story, or all the ones we could get at any rate. In particular, my crew went out and got wasted and got in a little trouble at a local bar, and got involved with some young lady, and we get to find out the whole story, which is sort of the point of fascination here This Week in Joe's Basement. But first, some viewer mail. We got a letter from our old friend Skid Marks, a heavy metal band from the southwest side, perhaps the oldest and most fanatical of Joe's Basement fans, who sent us a picture of their group in their basement. And they write to us as follows. Hi, Joe. I'm sitting, sorry, pen ran out, in my basement, watching the tape of your last show with the rest of the band and the neighbors during the Bulls game. Well, you've done it again. Yes, we tape your show. You've amazed your fans by making us trip out by being amused and using our brains, whatever brains we may have left. We love the Buttman, and we would like to have him open for us at our next gig. Be a bit of a practical problem since he exists only as a video effect, but we'll see what we can do. We love it when the old man, who we think looks like Charles Manson's dad, says, we had to live with the fucker. And of course, the phone calls. If you're looking for a new idea, how about a show from another basement, someone in the audience? We think our basement is the wildest in Chicago. No small statement. We dare you to do a remote from our place to see someone else's basement. This is the ultimate party basement. How about it? Well, the paper is ending now. Well, call us if interested. Skid Marks, loyal fans, bye. Thank you, Skid Marks. Only a moderate number of remarks to getting wasted in that one. Deb Paulson, another loyal fan and former and frequent letter writer, writes, Dear Joe, trying to contact you on the phone was an experience similar to trying to contact Ticketmaster to buy U2 tickets, totally futile. My suggestion for This Week in Joe's Basement, another field trip. I'd like to see you do a bungee jump. They're all the rage at suburban festivals. There's probably one conveniently located near you. Come on, Joe, if you will, I will. As ever, I remain adventurously yours, Deb Paulson. Nice suggestion, Deb, but you first. Okay, we got a letter from him, our another loyal letter writer who used to write us every single week telling me what was wrong with the show and refusing to sign his real name, only him. And first he writes about our call-in show, which I got a little dirty here, sorry about that. And he says, Joe, did I miss something last night, or did you edit out my phone call in your new ideas for the show? I know it was lame, but I couldn't think of anything else on short notice except to connect to you drinking all that beer and belching like an Arab after a good meal. So I asked for a little farting, sorry to get so out of line. Of course, I forgot that all Joe's Basement viewers have clean pants every day of the year. Excuse me for living or breathing or farting, but especially farting. I will stop right now. Soon you will be able to see me high over Oak Street Beach, flying along next to the Fuji blimp, only larger. Yours in clean air, Him, from Himsville, Illinois. Another gem from our friend with no name, Him, who follows that up with a comment on last week's show, episode 47, Song of Myself. Joe, many cops are assholes. This is probably either spontaneous or probably into my story about an encounter with a policeman as an adolescent. The question is, did they start out that way, or did copping make them that way? More later on this, Him promises. Concerning your liquid nitrogen bomb story, I feel that we should all refrain from putting glass in the lake. Him. All right, Him. Well, he's responding to, again, last week's episode, Song of Myself, in which I gave a story where I was caught by a policeman for setting off something I call a liquid nitrogen bomb in Lake Michigan, and not to lose sight of the forest for the trees, but there is no glass, in fact, used in this. The way you make a liquid nitrogen bomb is you get nitrogen at temperature cool enough for it to be a liquid, and you pour it in a 2-liter Coke bottle, which is made of plastic. You seal the 2-liter Coke bottle, toss it into some water, and eventually enough pressure builds up in the 2-liter Coke bottle to detonate it like a bomb. It's pretty cool, makes a lot of noise. And you can either set these off straight, or you can also make cannons out of them by stuffing them in a barrel and putting something large enough to plug the barrel, and capping bottle and running away. Anyway, so this week in Joe's Basement, we're going to look at all sides of the story of a particular spontaneous human conflict that ruined this weekend's shoot. You see, some of my crew went out to get wasted while I was sitting at home writing the script for this week's shoot. And anyway, well, it left us in a poor position to prepare for the next day, but decided to take advantage of this because the conflict was amusing enough for me to want to hear all sides of the story, the only way we know how here at Joe's Basement, which is to put people in the story closet. We've got this little sort of solitary confinement chamber here in the basement where we stick people in one at a time when we want to get each person's singular point of view without anyone hearing them or interfering them. And so through this technique, I endeavored to find out what really happened last night, this week in Joe's Basement.
So hi, my name's Gypsy, and I'm the technical director for this show. And I had a pretty weird experience tonight. So me and my friend Bob, we went out to Indiana the other day for the 4th of July holiday, and we went to a fireworks stand out in Indiana, right across the border, and we spent like $120 and bought a whole bunch of fireworks. We bought several gross of bottle rockets and mortars and tubes and multi-shot repeaters. So we were out riding around tonight, setting off these fireworks. And on the 4th of July tonight, 1992, it rained really heavily. We're riding around, all of a sudden it starts to pour. And we're near the University of Chicago, and there's this one place called Mendel Hall, which is a concert hall, and there's bathrooms and a couple theater groups, and a food service place in there. So we stopped in because we figured we'd get out of the rain, plus it's warm, there's bathrooms and there's water fountains and everything. We stopped in there, and we're hanging out in the doorway, and this woman shows up, and she's really cute. She's skinny and nicely built, and she's sopping wet. Oh, God, did she look nice. She needed to make a phone call, and I guess she borrowed a quarter from Martin, although I didn't know it at the time. You know, we had 3 bicycles, right? And everybody wanted to go in and scope her out, but one person had to hang out to check out the bikes, right? So we're taking turns going in and like getting drinks from the water fountains. We can just sort of idly, glance to the side and see what she looks like.
this girl who's nice. She's cute. And she's wet, cute. I give her a dime to make a phone call and it doesn't go through. My friend Martin gives her a dime, makes a phone call. And it goes through, gives her a quarter, make another phone call, you know. And she shares her champagne with us. She's out of town. Very cute. Excuse me. And her friends from here, we convince them to go to this bar, and we tell them at this bar, we hang out. Called the Cove.
Hi, my name's Karen. From Baltimore, and I'm visiting my friends Julia and Alice in Chicago. And we decided to come to this bar on the recommendation of these boys that I saw outside of the Student Union of the University of Chicago, named Dan, and some other guy, and a black guy. And so we took their recommendation, and we went to the bar. Already pretty drunk when we went to the bar. Drank some champagne, ate some cheese popcorn before we went. Got to the bar, let's see. He told me to tell you everything about meeting Dan and the other guy who was really obnoxious. I'm probably blocking out his name because he was such an asshole. Let's see. Tell you everything that happened. Okay. Met Dan. Thought he was a nice guy. A little weird. I thought that was weird. They were hanging out outside of the student union, just hanging out. Told me they had their bikes in there. They weren't waiting for a ride or anything, just hanging out. So it was kind of weird, but I didn't really care. I went to the bar, you know, and the reason I say bar is so weird is because I've been hanging around people from Chicago and they all say bar and car and this really weird Chicago accent. But anyway, at the bar, we're drinking a little bit, and this friend of the guy I met named Dan, who looks like Kurt Vonnegut with a weird mustache, poofy hair, plump. Not bad looking, just weird. Did not turn out to be a very nice guy. He got wasted, and I mean, I personally don't think he can getting wasted because I personally am wasted right now, but he turns into a real asshole when he gets wasted because he called me a bitch and a wench, and I thought that was totally uncalled for because I'm not against personal insults, really, but insults have to do with the person's sex or race or something like that. It gets on my nerves, and the terms bitch and wench just piss me off.
It starts to rain violently, and so I get this call, and it's Bob calling from a payphone, and he says, Joe, could you close the window to my car, please? And I ask them what they're up to, and they say that they're over on the University of Chicago campus at Mandel Hall, where they've met these really cute chicks who look nice in white t-shirts. Actually, I think they tell me that later. But anyway, I hear these girls in the background, actually. I can hear 20 to 25-year-old girls in the background while Bob's talking to me on the payphone. And I know Bob, and I know Dan, even though Dan has a girlfriend. And so I make the connection.
So we came back here to Joe's place, and you know, we told Joe the story about how we'd met these rain goddesses who were very pretty, and how they were maybe going to meet us at the Cove later. And we played around here. We played some games. We dried off our clothes and so forth. And then finally, we went to the Cove.
So we got to the Cove and get drunk, and here, lo and behold, are these women we told about the Cove about. So we go over to the Cove and have a couple shots, a couple beers, a couple more beers, a couple more beers, a couple more beers, a couple shots. And we tell you, this girl, she's nice, I mean, nice girl, nice breasts, nice girl.
It's so rare that you see any woman under 55 at the Cove at all, much less actually pick someone up there. And so I'm just thinking, and I am thinking in the back of my mind how just totally amazing it would be if these women even went there. And most people are kind of put off by the Cove. It's a neighborhood bar, not very glamorous, mostly populated by policemen and truck drivers and alcoholics, and almost exclusively men. If a woman walks in there who's even remotely attractive, the bartender usually takes notice, or one of them who was fired will like offer them table service or something like that. Well, I guess actually they used to serve underage people, so they used to be popular with the college set. But they don't do that anymore, so it's pretty dead over there.
We go to the Cove, and sure enough, there's the rain goddess in her shirt, sitting there talking to some muscular gentleman who was about 10 years older than her. We're like, yeah, you know, she's blind drinking drunk, what the hell. So we talked to her for a little while, and it turns out when she went to get a drink, there was this guy named Nick, who was a cop who was sitting there, and Nick made some offhanded comment, and Karen, who was the rain goddess's name, was really drunk and really fucked up, and she got really offended, so she hit him, she punched him, and what the hell is he gonna do, right? I mean, he can't hit a woman, so he couldn't do anything but just sit there and look foolish, and then she went off to sit with her friends. Now we came in a little while later, and we didn't know any of this, we heard her side of the story. But then, a little while later, we were talking to one of the Cove regulars, this woman named Kate, who had seen it all and who was a good friend of Nickard's, and who was very upset with Karen for what she had done. She considered Bill to be one of her friends, and, you know, seeing her friend being hit and being put in this position where he couldn't do anything about it upset her very much. And she had a lot of very, very, very unpleasant things to say about Karen, some of which I think were related to the fact that Karen is skinny and pretty, whereas Kate is, well, not unattractive, you know, full-figured and getting old, and, you know, just spent the last 15 years spending, you know, every night in the bar drinking. And speaking from experience, that sort of stuff begins to tell on you after a while.
Maybe his name was Tom. Maybe that's the name they're trying to tell me. Let's see. His name was Tom, and I called him a bitch and a wench. And I just couldn't believe it. I wanted to hit him like I hit the policeman earlier, but that came to no good. Probably turned him on in some kind of weird sadomasochistic way, so I decided not to hit him. But I really wanted to smack his head. Although his mustache looked like it was even fake. His mustache looked really funny, like it was fake, like he was too little to have a mustache, like he was too young. You know, although I guess he said he was 25, so I guess 25 isn't that young to have a mustache, but he looked really weird and young and just, I mean, poofy in a middle-aged way, but not, you know, not really convincingly. But I didn't feel that, whatever, I don't even remember what I did. I really don't even remember what I did. Maybe I insulted him. Distinct possibility, since I get really insulted when I've been drinking, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but I've been drinking. So, maybe I did insult him, but nothing to incite the name bitch, because I don't know. I don't think name calling is, you know, really the way to handle disputes. I think physical violence is the way to handle disputes, you know what I mean? Well, I guess not unless you can win.
She was eating salsa, which is very good, and homemade salsa, tomatoes, onions, a couple cloves of garlic, some jalapenos, some Ecuadorian red hot peppers, and I said, "Yo, bitch, could you pass me the chips?" Or something similar to that, yeah. "Could you pass me the chips, bitch?" Something like that. And she got very offended by that. I don't understand why. And she took off, you know, so started whining and etc., like they do sometimes. Shouldn't inhale. But I ran up to her and I said, "I didn't call you a bitch. I called you a bitch. B-Y-T-C-H instead of B-I-T-C-H. And then she slapped me. Naïve!
Maybe they wanted me to tell you you about my fight with the policeman. I don't even believe him as a policeman. It was just some weird dude in the blue shirt with his pointing chin like that, and like a weird bony face, white hair, older dude, just being an asshole. And he made someone like, just being an annoying person, you know, and then just like, okay, he's drunk, he's annoying, that's fine. When I'm drunk, I'm annoying. Everyone's allowed to be annoying when they're drunk, in my philosophy. But he said something about, I said something about, oh yeah, okay, so all women are weak and pathetic. I don't even know how they came up, but I just said that just to like, maybe to stir up trouble, maybe to see just if he was agreeing. And he agreed and he said women are really weak, and that just, I couldn't deal with that. So I had to smack him. And then I think like, there's no point in smacking him because I can never win because I'm much smaller than he is, I'm much smaller than unmanned. But it felt good, it was good smacking him, although it hurt my hand. You know, like when you hit people with an open hand like that, you end up hurting your hand more than you end up hurting them. It makes a very impressive noise, that's true. But you really end up smacking your hand hard and it hurts. And I mean, I don't know how much it hurts them because I guess I've never really been smacked like that, but I've smacked a couple people like that, like my little brother, my little sister, and stuff like that. And it hurts my hand. And I mean, it may hurt them, but it seems to me the intimidation factor is what I'm after, you know? It's like, it was more like, you know, I don't know, he's probably some weird low, like, dude who wants to be hit, so I'm not even sure if I proved anything, but.
Dan talks to Karen. I'm talking to Kate. Kate is calling her the bimbo of the century or something like that. I mean, a friend of mine who hangs out in the bar, Phil, actually got punched in the jaw by Dan's friend Karen, the rain goddess. And Kate didn't like that very much. So immediately she started hating this woman, Karen. And I was actually hoping for a cat fight, because it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, scratch, tear, rip. But didn't get what I wanted.
I think I should come down soon because I'm really running out of things to say. I wonder, this microphone's hooked up tight. This is a very weird situation. Very weird. Good thing I'm wasted or else I get more spooked out about this. This is being in this little like room with all these weird pipes and boxes and boots, like ski looking boots and baseball gloves, and this is very odd. I wonder what they're doing upstairs. I feel very locked in with this stupid video camera. I do want to tape this, that's for sure. I hear Julia laughing, that's a good sign. I want them to come down now. Getting kind of creeped out. It's almost 4 in the morning. Can't believe I stayed up so late. Gosh. Chicago's a weird place. Big place. Oh man, I'm getting really tired. It's 3:30 in the morning. I've been drinking since like 10. No, earlier than that. 8:30 I've been drinking. But I guess I stopped around 12:30 or so. Because I have exceptional self-control. Didn't used to. Well, I've done many. Oh good, they're coming down. I'm sick of talking. I don't want to talk anymore.